All right, boys and girls, welcome everybody. It's Thursday night. Thursday night. We just started the stream, so if you're anywhere near Facebook, if you could share it from my fan page over to your friends, that would be great. So let's see who's here. Welcome everybody. So I think I'll start with I'll play that song that Sherry asked me to play. We're not going to dance this time. Of course, you can if you want, but maybe if we can, we'll do a little dance party at the end. So let me make sure my settings are good. All right, here we go. Eric, no problem with the stream? Everything good?
It looks like we might not have Facebook right now, but YouTube is going.
All right, so you work on that, and I'll play this song for her. All right. So this is for Sherry. I overheard a man complaining how his 401k was not performing quite how he would like it to. As he sipped his double latte and continued to complain, I thought about that day in 1982. We were living in the shack with the outhouse in the back. If I'm not mistaken, you were pregnant too. We thought it might be funny to count up all of our money and discuss the investing we could do. We pulled our pockets inside out, pulled the cushions off the couch, stuck our fingers way down deep inside, emptied out the pockets of the jackets in our closet, but not a single penny did we find. So after the realization our financial situation was not conducive to investment at this time, we decided to invest in what we've always done best. We danced around the kitchen for a while, we do the victory dance. Life is such a mess, we don't know what else to do. We do the victory dance when being penniless became literal to me and you. Well, you can jump off of a building, take a bunch of pills, you can walk around in a trance. But if you wake up in the morning on the right side of the lawn, go on and do the victory dance. I got fired from a job I'd been working at for 20 years faithfully. Oh dear, oh God, oh my, how will I ever survive without a corporation taking care of me? I was so stressed out for weeks I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I didn't think that things would ever turn my way. And then a couple months went by, I began to realize, man, I really hated working at that place. So I started working for myself, improved my mental health. Now I'm happier than I've ever been before. Oh dear, oh my, oh God, I should have quit that stupid job 19 years ago. I do the victory dance when my life forces me to go out on my own. And then I just declare victory and I march my army home. There are things you can't control, things you'll never know. Some things are always left to chance. If you're a clerk or you're a farmer, work from home in your pajamas, do the victory dance. When your life forces you to go out on your own, just declare victory and then march your army home. There are things you can't control, things you'll never know. Some things are always left to chance. But if you wake up in the morning on the right side of the lawn, if you're a clerk or you're a farmer, work from home in your pajamas. If the world has gone to hell, in your car there's a 10-gallon bucket of Purell. If you've been stuck in a tiny house with your children and your spouse, if they canceled all your shows and you got nowhere to go, now you're sitting in your room playing concerts on Zoom. What? And you wonder what it means to play songs to a computer screen. Across the top are little squares, all your friends are trapped inside of there. And When you say to your friends that are trapped in the squares, give me a sign, let me know you're okay and they are. If you lose your money, but you still got your honey. If you lose your honey, but you still got some money. If you find it hard to cope cause your kids are all on dope, don't surrender yet, try not to forget in this game of life we're in. In this game of life we're in this game of life that we are in, if you don't die, you win. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Woo-woo.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
There you go, nicely done.
Good job, Don.
Welcome. Hello, Moira. Hi, everybody. So, Eric, do we have the stream on Facebook now?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, nice job over there. All right, so everybody on Facebook, so this is the way it is. I think over here is YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Welcome. Hello, Facebook over there. Share this if you're on Facebook, so the more the merrier. And if you want to join us in the Zoom part where you can yell at me in between songs like my friends do, then come on over here. I'm going to play this song now for Kara, and because, hi, Marcia, I want to show you what's behind me here. Hang on. So this is my Peter Max poster that was hanging on my wall when I was 12 years old in 1969. I found it when I was in the back of a closet when we were moving our house, and so that makes me think of. So first of all, those of you that remember the 60s and the 70s, I want you to be careful not to stare at that too much. You might have a delayed psychedelic experience. Then, remember that guy that sold you that acid in 1974? You thought he ripped you off. If you stare at that picture too much, it might activate it there. So be careful. I'll block it out for you. But anyway, that made me think of this song. I know Kara likes it, and I was kind of hoping my friend Sam would be here by now, but I don't see her yet. But anyway, this is called Woodstock Memories, and it's for young people. It's a reminder for them to not let old hippies tell them that things were better in their time. Your time is better. It's better now for you. Believe me. All right, so here you go. Here you go, Kara. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock back in 1969. Ticket stub and a chunk of mud in her house in the little shrine. There was always a girl in the hippie dress twirling at the shows by the Grateful Dead. And if you ask her about it, man, you better sit down. Grandma will talk the ears right off your head. If you get her talk about the Grateful Dead, Summer of Love or the Kool-Aid acid test. Jenny was always in the glory when she could hear the stories from her grandma's hippie friends about peace and love, taking care of one another, how great it all was back then. And that night she would dream of being on the bus with Keezy, seeing Jimmy in 69. But when she wasn't dreaming, she always had the feeling that somehow she'd been born in the wrong time. You should have been 20 in 1969. All the gray-haired hippies say that all the time. While the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, having all kinds of fun singing. There's only 1 minute if you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, but Bob or Ram Dass never said, be there then. It's gonna take a big fat leap of faith if you wanna find your tribe. Those were the first words Jenny heard in a song that she found online. And that summer she drove all the way to Minnesota to the Shangri-La Festival. And there they all were, all the people like her who grew up believing that they were all alone. They said, hey girl, welcome home. Children of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are driving down the road to Minnesota, having all kinds of fun singing. Jimmy and Jerry are dead and buried and they're never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, Papa, Ram Dass. Never said, be there then. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock in 1969. Since then she believed there was never going to be a better time, and that's alright. But if you don't take a big leap of faith and get out there and find your scene, it will pass you by while you are trying to find your grandma's long gone Woodstock memories. Her Woodstock memories. While the cool grandchildren and the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, man, having all kinds of fun. Singing, there's only 1 minute if you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, Papa, Ram Dass. Never said, never said. Never said, never said. Never said, be there then.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Ta-da, 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 ta-da. All right, so I'm so happy to see you all, and thanks for, we've been doing this since April. Do you believe that? A year ago, April. And it's just helped me get through. I feel like, especially the Zoom part of this, like more people are watching on other platforms, but this group here, I get to hear you and talk to you, and don't be afraid to unmute yourself. We have Eric running the technician stuff behind the scenes there, and he'll mute you if it gets too noisy there. But I like to hear the interaction and people talking to me. So I'm going to play this song here. I've been playing it every week, but it's one that I never used to play, so I'm having so much fun with it. This is a song called The Second Chance Crew, and it's a song that when I was a kid, we were the last of the great partiers. That was our thing, man. My dad was just shaking his head looking at me. He kept calling me a hunky. Right? And we're like, Dad, what is it's like a word that he made up. And we finally figured out that we did some research, and the term hunky was in the Pittsburgh steel mills in the 20s, the guy who shoveled the slag that was left off the shovel of the slag shoveler, that was a hunky, the lowest guy on the thing. And he kept calling me, you're going to be a hunky. Your report card, all F's and D's on it. You're out every night with your friends. I know what you're doing. He goes, you're going to wind up working for the minimum wage. And I would just laugh and say hunky. And I changed it to lumper because just thought it might work. So this is called the Lumper Song. Turns out my dad was right. I wound up working for the minimum wage for a good hunk of my life. And anyway, here's a little tribute to the wisdom of our elders. My dad said, son, if you keep going on this way, bad report card, you're gonna wind up as a lumper on a cruise someday. I said, Dad, what's a lumper? I would laugh so hard rolling on the floor. Dad, no one uses words like lumper anymore. The guys are outside, it's Friday night. I gotta go. See you later, and thanks for the lecture. If you keep doing the things that you are doing, if these things that you are doing don't do you in, they can always use another lumper down on the Second Chance Crew. Me, Billy, Bob, Rick, and Ray, those were my drinking buddies. We were living for the party. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And don't forget Sunday. One by one they moved away from home. The time went by, the next thing I know, I'm 31, I'm drinking with a bunch of 19-year-olds. What a loser, man, what a loser of you. Keep doing the things that you are doing. If all these things you're doing don't do you in, they can always use another lumper down on the Second Chance Crew. Second Chance people got a touch of gray, party their teens and their 20s away, but now they're sober, starting over in 32. Just so glad to be working on the Second Chance Crew. Hey lumper, pick up those pallets, they're not gonna move by themselves. I don't care about your knees and your hips. I don't care if they're sore. You shouldn't have skipped school every Wednesday of your life. That's right. I wound up in the program. I know that's no surprise. I make the minimum wage, but at least I didn't die. You know my knees are aching and my back is sore. I've been dragging these ladders across the plywood floor. Dad, I never wonder what a lumper is anymore. You're a lumper, Don. You're a lumper if you keep doing the things that you are doing. If all of these things you're doing don't do you in, they can always use another lumper down on the second chance crew. Smoke it, drink it, puff it up your nose while your education goes up in smoke. And when you're in your 30s and the party is through, we're saving you a seat at the meeting and a job lumping on the crew. Saving you a seat at the meeting. At the meeting, a seat at the meeting, a seat at the meeting, a seat at the meeting, and a job lumping on the crew. A seat at the meeting and a job lumping on the crew. Ta-da!
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The crowd goes wild. The crowd is totally going wild.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm writing another book. I swore I'd never write another book. I swore I would never do it. It was too hard, but I'm doing it. In fact, I just yesterday made a commitment. So I moved from my house. So the house I used to live in, I was there for 30 years. We sold that house, and now I'm in this apartment, which is great. My daughter and her son, my grandson, who's just about this high. I have grandsons that are this high, but I have these little one now, and he lives upstairs, so it's a good space here, but it's noisy. I can't. In order to write, I can't be distracted. So I have a friend who has a house in New Hampshire that he doesn't use during the week, so I'm renting it 2 days a week. I'm gonna head up there like I'm going to a job and sleep over 2 nights and just knuckle down and get this book finished, right? So, I just made that commitment today to do it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna call my book, but I keep thinking about calling it "Stories I Couldn't Tell Until My Parents Were Dead."
I like that one.
I'm not sure it's a good title. It might not make it all the way to the end, but every time I speak the name of that out loud, I just laugh. I just think it's funny. All right, so I'm going to read something to you. I'm going to read it for my friends in Kentucky. Not sure if Thelia will understand this or not, but this is about interaction I had with my daughter when she was about Thelia's age. And so just to set this up a little bit, I had to go talk to my dad. My mother asked me to speak to my dad about his drinking, right? So I thought, okay, no big deal, I'll do it. And just before I went to do it, I started getting nervous, and I talked to my daughter just before I went to bed. So this is about that reaction there. And this is just a section of a much larger piece in the book. But I want to read it just to show that it's important to listen to young people. Sometimes they have a view of the world that's not encumbered by how it's always been or how it's supposed to be or whatever. So here we go. On Saturday night, I walked past my daughter's bedroom. She was sitting on the floor playing a video game. I think it was Nintendo. I stood in the hallway thinking, I've talked to my son and my wife about my situation with my dad, but I always think of her as too young to include in complicated matters. Maybe just out of courtesy, I should brief her. I turned around, walked back to her room, and asked her to pause the game and sit on the bed with me. I want to include you in something that has been going on here with me for the past week. Sometimes I still think of you as the baby here, but you're 8 years old now, and that's old enough to be kept in the loop like everybody else. My dad drinks too much, and your grandmother asked me to talk to him about it. When she first asked me, I didn't think it would be very hard, but now that I have to do it tomorrow morning, I'm kind of scared. I don't know if I will say the right things or say it in the right way, or if it will hurt his feelings, or if it will change my relationship with him. I love him a lot, and I only want what's best for him and my mom, so I just wanted to tell you that if you've noticed I've been a little distracted this week, that's the reason. So I was thinking to myself that I had just done a pretty cool dad thing. I was patting myself on the back, and in my mind I was starting work on the first draft of my Father of the Year speech. Right? The truth, as it is so often, was opposite my perception. I wasn't including my daughter because I respected her opinion. As the observant reader will note, I spoke my piece and was preparing to leave. It never crossed my tiny mind to think that she might have something useful or interesting to say. The entire scene was obligatory. It was like she was the last kid picked for the baseball team. I was doing the nice thing by making her feel included, but I was still putting her in right field where no balls were likely to be hit. Before I could rise from the bed in my self-congratulatory delusion, she said, "I know exactly how you feel." It startled me. It was the last thing a coach expected to hear from a Little League right fielder, that he was sure was going to spend the game chasing butterflies with her glove on the wrong hand. I sat back on the bed and said, "You do?" And she said, "Yes. Remember back when Mom used to smoke cigarettes? Well, she used to hide it from us. So one morning I got up early and I caught her smoking in the kitchen. She tried to hide it under the table, but I saw it and I smelled the smoke. I ran upstairs to my room. I was so upset. Then she waved her arm with a pointed index finger from the floor by the door to the window by the far end of the room and said, "I walked back and forth in here for a long time. I wanted to tell her that smoking was bad for her lungs and that it would kill her. But I was afraid to do it. But after a while, I forced myself to go back downstairs. I told her how bad it was and how much I hated that she smoked. And she quit smoking the next day." So then my daughter picked up the remote control and sat on the floor. Her back was to me and her legs were crossed beneath her tiny, bony butt. Before she unpaused the video game, she turned her head around and said, "I know exactly how you feel. It will be really hard. You'll probably cry. But when it's over, you'll be glad you didn't chicken out." My 8-year-old guru daughter had distilled down to 2 paragraphs what smarty pants counselors take hundreds of pages to say. I sat there stunned while the Nintendo Mario Brothers music played the scene to a close. Ta-da.
Woo! All right, Dawn, thank you.
Yeah,
That was
I love
great.
I love your stories, Dawn.
Thank you. Right. So there you go, Celia. You know, don't let them tell you that you don't have something to say. You may be the smartest one in the room. Maybe not, but it's possible. That's all I'm saying. All right. All right. So here, let me do this serious one here. Those of us that live here in the city, and you know, this is a song about the heroin problem that we have here. I promise I'll be lighter after this, but I do want to put this out there in the world. It's a big problem. My daughter's graduating class, just so you know. So she graduated in the year 2000, and that was the year that the pharmaceutical companies unloaded all the OxyContin on the world. You know, they had this big sales push to get it out there, and doctors were prescribing it, you know, to everybody. And so these kids in high school, with her, every medicine cabinet they went to had like 100 OxyContin in it. And since then, since 2000, she told me, and I don't think this is an exaggeration, she told me that there's been 30 overdoses that resulted in deaths from her classmates in that class. And so this is a song that pretty soon I'm going to donate it to an organization called Learn to Cope. It got kind of put on hold from COVID, but I'm going to give this to them, and anybody that donates money anybody that buys it, well, I'll just give the money to Learn to Cope. Learn to Cope is an organization not for to support people who have a drug problem. It's to support the people who love them. It's a fantastic organization, primarily here in Massachusetts, but I recommend that you look it up and check it out. They're doing extraordinary work. So here we go. This is called For the Loved Ones of the Lost Ones. They were not just statistics, our children had names. Don't say they were junkies, and they all are the same, 'cause they each had potential to do something great, until heroin stole that potential away. And now we are the loved ones that they left behind, and we keep the memories of them alive, and we speak the words that they want to say to all of you who are still using today. In the name of our daughters, in the name of our sons, in the name of all the beautiful lost ones we love, behind all your sorrow, behind your despair, will we see only the light that's still shining in there. At the moment that I open my eyes, and the weight of my loss crashes down on my life, I remember the night that my son came to me and spoke comforting words to me in a dream. He said, don't give up on those with sad, broken lives, and tell them you still see the light in their eyes. Offer them help and hope every day, and I will be there beside you each step of the way. In the name of our daughters, in the name of our sons, please take this help so you might be the one who gets clean and comes back here with all that it takes to help us save these broken angels in this place. We can save these broken angels, save these broken angels, save these broken angels, for the loved ones of the lost ones. Save these broken angels, save these broken angels, save these broken angels, for the loved ones of the lost ones. For the loved ones of the lost ones, for the loved ones of the lost ones, for the loved ones of the lost ones, for the loved ones of the lost ones.
Beautiful, Dawn. Absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
All right, Dawn.
Very beautiful.
Tara, good to hear your voice. California represented here.
Ow!
Nicely done, very much. Nice to see you. How are you? Everything okay out there?
Yep, I'm doing okay. Got my second shot today.
Did you?
Woo!
Wow. You know, I had a funny moment. My wife got her shot. So this is local, so I don't know, how many of you will get this, but watch the Massachusetts people how they respond to this. So when my wife went to get her shot, she had to go to Chelsea. Chelsea's one of the towns that has the distinction of making Lynn look good, which is quite a.
Yeah.
So I went out the door and I saw my daughter because we live here in the house, in this apartment building together. And I go, I'm not the first, what would you say to me if I told you that I'm taking your mother to Chelsea to get shot? I don't want to make people, Chelsea's a good place too, but it was funny. I gotta say that. All right. Did anyone want to hear anything? Sarah, do you want me to play anything for you, or
You know what I want to hear.
you want to hear that thing? All right. All right. So maybe this will cheer Sherry up. Sherry's having a difficult day, so we'll play this. So this is a song that goes back to when Terry and I were hitchhiking around the country. That's right, we were hitchhikers. You believe that? Unbelievable, really. Hitchhiking around the country. I've been writing about it lately. It's fascinating. I'm remembering so many things. Anyway, we got a job picking pears in Washington State, and it wasn't qualified to do that. I didn't have any previous experience as a fruit picker. But I lied on the application. It's something I recommend highly. Anyway, all the fruit tramps, which is what we were affectionately known as out there, we all had dogs. I had the only female. We had the only female. Her name was Elijah, and she had the great timing of going into heat while we were out there in the orchard. Of course, all the other fruit tramps had dogs, but they were all males, and so this is the song that came out of it. I honestly, before Sarah started coming to these things, I hadn't played this thing in 10 years. Now I play it every third week because Sarah comes every week, and this is what she thinks is good song. Let me tell you about the fall of '79. We were running out of money, we were running out of time. We wound up picking pears way over in Washington. For 8 months before that, we were hitching down the road with a dog named Elijah, 1-year-old. Had that dog ever since she was a little pup. Now baby was growing up. Walk out into Elijah, I just can't say. I guess she started reaching the curious age. She had this aroma she was sending all over the land. And in every backyard for 4 or 5 miles, every male dog was howling, going so wild they were driving their owners crazy, but they didn't care. Dog love was in the air. Jumping out of windows, breaking off chains, poodles, cocker spaniels, German shepherds, Great Danes. They were raunchy, rabid, ugly, mangy, mean. They were trying to find the orchard queen. I was in a tree, Elijah was right down beneath me, and to my surprise I saw 25 male dogs closing in on her. And so I picked me a pear and I threw it on down, and I hit a cocker spaniel and I knocked him to the ground. He got up quick, he was dazed, but he wasn't deterred. And so I threw down another, I hit him on the head, he went down hard, thought he was dead, but he still went for Elijah after taking 2 direct hits. The little sucker was passionate. We jumped from the tree and we ran to the shack, pursued by a horny, crazed wild dog pack, and our dog Elijah fought us every inch of the way. And when we got to the shack, we were both in shock, and we felt like we were in a movie by Hitchcock. We looked at each other and we didn't know what to say. How could a little girl act this way? You try to bring him up right, you feed him Alpo and keep him tied at night. You try to teach him morals and teach him about society. And one day they are a sweet, innocent child. The next day, they're out running so wild. Elijah, I never thought he would turn out to be the picture of promiscuity. The next morning, I took a pair of my BVD underwear and I put them on Elijah, and I put her tail through the little hole. Let's all picture that, if we could. And I let her run free in the orchard that day. And every male dog in Washington state took a try at Elijah, but the only thing they felt was a low-budget chastity belt. That night when we got to the shack, I took the underwear and I threw them out back. They were wet and they were dirty and I didn't think much of it. I didn't realize that they were the equivalent of the Holy Grail in the male dog population. Silly me, because Lord Almighty, what happened then when the male dogs got a good whiff of them? It was the biggest dog riot that there ever was anywhere. Over Elijah's underwear. They fought and rumbled and they brawled all night. They were killing one another till the morning light. They were fighting to the death for the greatest prize anywhere. When it all was finished, when it all was done, the Doberman pitcher was the champion. He was wounded, but he looked so triumphant standing there with Elijah's underwear. He won him fair and square. They were tore to shreds, he didn't care. He looked so proud standing there. Ta-da!
I love it, Don. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, just wanted to check. Are you live streaming? I don't see it on Facebook.
Eric, what's up with Facebook, buddy?
I'm watching it myself, so it's there.
All right, so yeah, there we go. That's
Weird, I
good.
didn't see it. Okay.
Good to know. Thanks. Keep track of that stuff. All right, so here we go. How about this? Sarah, you feel chatty? You want to introduce this one here? I can just play it if you want, or you can.
Are we doing MTV Love Song?
We are, because I love you.
Oh, I love you too. So yes, I will introduce this song.
So,
because
Eric,
I
would you
also-
spotlight her for a second, please?
Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Where's my kazoo?
Eric, will you spotlight Sarah for me? There you go.
Oh, here I am.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. So I also love this song because I feel like it's the quintessential Don White song, honestly. It covers every gamut of emotion there is. And Don always kids around and says that, you know, it's a terrible song and all that stuff. It doesn't fit the mold, but Don White doesn't fit the mold either. Thank you, God, he doesn't, because he's unique, he's different. And I have a special place in my heart for this song because the first time I heard it was at a period of time in my life when I was having trouble managing emotions. And I couldn't handle feeling like two emotions in the same day. Like I could do one and that's about it. So it made me feel crazy. And so, you know, I was at a festival listening to Dawn and I was laughing and crying and just emotionally, like just struck by what was going on in the story. And I realized I was okay. You know, it's okay to feel feelings, especially multiple ones at the same time. So it's always had a special place in my heart. And I think it has an amazing message. And so I present the MTV Love Song.
Thank you. Nicely done. All right. So just briefly, the idea for this was I had been with a couple of record companies and they kept saying, don't bore us, get to the chorus, and, you know, trying to, you know, and I just was so, I just thought, I'm going to do something in a song. I'm just going to write a song that doesn't do anything it's supposed to do. So this song has no bridge, no chorus. It has 3 verses with different emotional agendas. And it's, you know, probably among the most unmarketable songs in the history of the world. But if everybody was like Sarah, it would be a huge hit, I guess. I'd be a millionaire by now. But I'm really happy with it, and I guess another one that I haven't played and never would play, but so Sarah and some of the other folks here helped me to bring this up. So here we go. Well, by the way, none of this is happened to me. This is all stuff that I made up, because people will ask me about that. I'm 64, she's 63. Our grandkids were over watching MTV. There were women gyrating all over the screen with some amazing dance moves, if you know what I mean. There was a young man singing a song about love, while these women danced around him all shaking their stuff. I said, you don't think that I could handle all the young wild girls? She said, there ain't enough Viagra in the whole wide world. And then she laughed that I love so well. It filled the room and it cast a spell. And while they sang about love on MTV, I sat and thought about what love means to me. Let's say you get married, you have a little boy. For 3 sweet years he brings you love and joy. But before he turns 4, that kid gets sick. Jesus comes to take him, takes him real quick. And when they lowered him into that cold dark hole, you bury your heart and bury your soul. After that you walk around like you were still alive, but your heart is underground by that little kid's side. So how could you have known that your heart still lived inside the love of the mother of that little kid? And that when the time was perfect, she would plant the seed in the hole where your old heart used to be. And with the right amount of water, the right amount of sun, she'd bring you back among the living, back among the loved. Do you really think a love that is just about sex could ever grow you back a heart that was ripped from your chest? All these stupid young punks in the videos singing songs about love. What the hell do they know? Well, don't get me wrong, I love to see women gyrating on my TV. It's exciting, it's erotic, it's amusing, it's fun. It is a whole lot of things, but it's sure not love. This love I have known, it cannot be explained. It is the kind that finds heaven through the terror and the pain. It's a glance, a whisper, a prayer, it's a smile. It's even some gentle gyrations, you know, every once in a while.
Fabulous.
Thank
Love
you,
it.
John.
Thanks, John. Love it.
Man. Yeah. That gets me. Wow.
Well, thanks. You know, I remember writing it thinking, I'm going to be the only person that likes this thing. You know, just because I was just saying, so, you know, I had like managers and all that stuff at that point, and they were just looking at me like, what is this thing? Right? I'm like, this is my rebellion. Yeah, I made a list of everything that you people told me to do, and I just did the opposite. They said,
Well,
John has a little oppositional defiant disorder.
they said, that's why nobody's buying your record, Dawn.
You were just being you.
Someday I'm gonna have 17 people in a Zoom meeting, so take that.
that's something. Done.
I'll teach you. I'll teach you people. All right. So I'm gonna play one more song, and then we're gonna have our guest poet, Mr. Dave Somerset. Then we're gonna take a short break, just enough to sort of pass the hat, and for me to get up from this chair for a minute. Then I'll come back and play until about, I don't know, 8:20, 8:25, and then if you want to hang around, I will. We'll have our after party. So we've got some special guests. Annie and Rod Capps are gonna come from Michigan. I think they're bringing a mandolin player with them. It'll be the first time we ever had a trio in here. Things are loosening up. 3 people can be in the same room. And then Susan Cattaneo is gonna be here. I think Chris Chandler's here. He might do a little poem later. So that's all in the after party. But if Hannah is still here, let me see if she's.
Don't miss the party. It's awesome.
So I'm gonna play this if Hannah's still listening. This is something that she hasn't heard. This is a new one. It's called it's called "That's What Makes You Beautiful," and like, those of you I know have heard this before, but just for anybody that for this whom this is new, this is a song for anybody who turned out well when their parents weren't well enough to teach them how to be well. You know, so if your parents had a drug problem or mental health issues or anger issues or whatever, and they, you know, and you turned out kind, but you didn't see a ton of kindness from them, or if you turned out to be generous of spirit and you didn't see a lot of generosity, or if you turned out to be nurturing to your own kids or to other people in your world, but nobody was well enough to nurture you on the way up, then this song is for you. You deserve to be recognized for your significant accomplishment. You had to find this in yourself to do it, and I'm happy to have put together some words for you. It's called "That's What Makes You Beautiful." You were taught by your world that empathy and kindness were the kind of things that made a person weak. They said push and grab and fight every minute of your life, and trample those between you and what you believe you need. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all the years of fear and insecurity, singing cruelty is always weak, but love and empathy are strong enough to break the chains of selfishness and greed. Gentle is the strongest thing to be. You know it is not your fault that heroin and alcohol made them both too ill to give their children what they really need. But it sure would have been nice to be encouraged once or twice, to feel safe at night, or to have a life with just a little normalcy. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all those years of fear and insecurity. When you feel hatred in your heart, you just remember who you are, and that underneath the weight of hate, your heart cannot be free. Forgiving is the strongest thing to be. It's not the color of your eyes, not your hypnotizing smile. It's not any of the many things that everyone can see. It's the way you always knew what they told you wasn't true. It's how you made yourself the person that they taught you not to be. That's what makes you beautiful to me. A young man's eyes see beauty in what is on the surface, not within. He will walk past what is beautiful to be near the thing that shines. But these old man's eyes find beauty in the story, in the journey. They have seen too much to be fooled by what attracts a young man's eyes. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all those years of fear and insecurity. There was nothing that this world could do to crush the love inside of you. Under neglect, abuse, and selfishness, you were caring, kind, and generous. It is the lonely road that brought you here. It's how all alone you persevered. It's the defiance and the tenacity of your heart song of humanity. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful to me. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Woo!
Awesome.
So good.
Yeah.
The crowd is going wild. The crowd
Yeah.
is going wild. We're at 14. They need an ambulance over there. I can tell right over the All right. So as Hannah knows, and a lot of my friends know, that my world is split up into some sections. I used to be able to keep them separate. I would play for poets over here, and for storytellers over here, and for people in suburbia over here, and Lynn people over here, and I had separate shows that never mingled. I could keep them separate. I had a show for everybody. But now, because of this stupid stuff here, it's all mashed together. Everybody's all here. But I really wanted to bring spoken word and poetry to my to my Thursday show. So we have what we're calling the spoken word corner here, and so every week we try to bring somebody here that will bring some words to us. So today I'm really thrilled to introduce you to Mr. Dave Somerset. Dave is a treasure in our community, an absolute treasure. He's just good to everybody, and he took over Speak Up after Tony Toledo and I, had done it for 10 years or so. So Dave took it over after a transitional period, and he kept it going. So he's keeping spoken word alive. So maybe before this is over today, Dave, we can put Speak Up in the chats, right? And so let people know it's every Wednesday at 7:30 online on Zoom, and it's just an open mic for spoken word. So this is a man with a heart, as Tony Toledo would say, as big as a barn, and a person that I'm just honored to call my friend. So unmute yourselves and applaud ferociously for one of the great human beings on earth, Mr. Dave Somerset.
Woo! Hey, David!
Wow. Wow, Dawn. Thank you, my friend. And I wouldn't even be writing probably if it wasn't for Dawn. I was at the Walnut Street. I don't even know why I was there, listening to somebody else, as far back as you could possibly get. And then I see there's somebody in back of me saying, don't you have something you want to say? Or, and that was Mr. Don White. So Don, you bear part of the blame for all this. And I'm just going to read a couple pieces here. So this one is called Sister. It's inspired by a Facebook post that my friend Justice put out for calling for a pair of size 8 sneakers needed for a woman in Central Square, Lynn, Mass, standing there in soggy slippers, apparently homeless. Did you see my sister under the bridge in Central Square, on the edge in the rain, soggy slippers and cardboard sign, going nowhere? Surrounded by don't want to know and don't want to care, even though we're all under a bridge somewhere. Thank you.
Woo! Thanks, David.
Hey, that was nice, David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Powerful.
And I'm kind of since I'm a Lynn person myself, prone to being a little bit of an underdog. So this one's called Underdogs. There are not a lot of applicants waiting to get in, but we know who we are. Late bloomers, underachievers, wallflowers, eccentrics, geeks, and dorks. Large, visible chips on shoulders, backs, and in our heads. Maladjusted misfits, much maligned and always underestimated. Irresistible forces that can never be stopped by immovable objects. We have IEPs, ADD, a diagnosis and meds, origins of dysfunctional families, fractured families, no families, living in brains, hearts, minds, not in the world of rejection, greatly flawed and broken. And that is our superpower, our identity, art, and creative drive. We can do the impossible. We are impossible. Thank you.
Woo!
Oh, nice, David.
Yes, love that. Love that.
Oh, thank you.
Love it.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we're just going to do one more. My stuff is usually short attention span. And this one is for, one of my favorites, Bessie. She saw the flowers beneath the snow, where few cared to look and none to know. Talked to them, sang to them, loved them. She understood them. They listened to her, heard her, understood her. She meant something to them. Bessie gave her heart away, all she had. A good woman with bad men, a tender soul in a tough world. Bessie died out on Highway 61. The same guy who caused her death stole the money for her headstone. Her grave was left neglected, unmarked, forgotten. Until a woman appeared after many decades who knew Bessie's music, shared her ball and chain, loved and sang to those flowers. Janice saw Bessie in her own life. The music was hers. The heart was hers. Janet bought and placed Bessie's headstone, not just to mark Bessie's grave, but both their lives. Remarkable, rare lives. Meant something, everything. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Awesome, David.
Woo!
Nice.
Thank
Good
you.
job, Dave.
So anyway, if you see people hanging around the back of the Walnut Street Cafe during Speak Up, you never know what you're going to end up with. So thank you, Dawn.
You're welcome. One more time for Dave Somerset, everybody.
Hey,
Thank you,
Dave.
David.
Awesome.
Woo!
Yeah, Dave.
Good job.
All right, so we're going to take just like a 3-minute break now, and this is not an intermission. This is just a chance for me to get up out of this chair, splash some water on my face, and it's also a chance for you to donate if you can. So this is always free. You can, you're always welcome where I am, and it looks to me like starting in the summer, I'll be doing some outside things, and come fall, unless there's a big setback, I'm going to be back performing, And so this goes for then too. If you're want to come to one of my concerts and you don't have any money, reach out to me. And if there's a way to get you in, if it's not sold out or if I can do it, you're welcome. I've been without money more than I've had it. So let me just say that up front. So you're always welcome. Don't let your money status influence anything in as far as I'm concerned. But if you're doing okay and you want to help us with the grocery bill, tomorrow is grocery day. I'll put your name on the ramen noodle shelf over here, and we can call them. we'll have some noodles in your name tomorrow, and so the information will be in all the respective chats. And there'll be a splash up here in a minute with information on it. You can do by Venmo or PayPal, but you can also mail me a check. And I'm like a throwback now. Like in my mailbox now, I get like cards with people, send me cards now, right? And and all the things that you used to do, like put a little something on the label, like a heart and little things inside of it. When you take it out, and it smells like something, like I'm having a 1968 experience over here in the 67, like a throwback experience. So if you want to just put a stamp on something and put it in the with Pony Express, that works for me too. And I must say I enjoy it. I enjoy I get handwritten letters in cursive. It's like a secret around here. No young people can read them. Look, it's like a secret language. So I'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and I'll play till about 25 past or so. Hey everybody, welcome. I see Jen is here from Michigan. Nice to see you. Hi. And Eleanor, my biggest fan. Well, my smallest fan, but my biggest fan. There she is. So welcome. Those of you that are watching on other platforms, if you look in your chats, Eric, our technician, will put access information if you want to come over here to the Zoom part where it's more interactive. But you're welcome to stay over there if you like. Thanks to everybody from watching from all over the place. I'm going to tell a story, sing a song, and then we'll move on, I think. All right, I understand exhaustion. Exhaustion and I have a long-standing and deeply intimate knowledge of one another. He knows how to slip into my life and make me miserable, and I know that he likes doing it. So when my daughter was 15 years old, her bedroom didn't have a door on it, just like a flimsy door, and so the sound would travel between her bedroom and my bedroom where my wife and I slept. There was no barrier, no sound barrier. So one day, after I had worked 16 hours, I was installing alarm systems. Sorry about this stuff, is because of pollen. I had worked 16 hours installing security systems in people's houses. I was crawling through attics. I was covered with insulation. I spent the day in the attic. It was 104 degrees up there, and everything I touched just puffed up. This suspiciously asbestos-looking stuff. And all I kept thinking about was I should have studied harder in school. And I was the kind of exhausted that made me want to sit in a puddle and cry when I got home, right? So I crawl up the stairs, I walk past my daughter's bedroom, I go into my bedroom, and I lay, take a shower and go to bed. And I'm laying in there, and the alarm clock, the 5 a.m. setting on the alarm clock is taunting me. So because this is a story, let me just interrupt myself for a second. If the more people that are unmuted, the better I like it, within reason. So go ahead and unmute yourselves, and so that we can interact just a little bit here. And don't, as long as it's relatively quiet where you are. It just makes it feel better when I'm telling stories. So anyway, I'm in there, I'm laying in bed, and I can feel the 5 a.m. setting on the alarm clock just taunting me. I'm going to ring as soon as you close your eyes, big guy, right? And my daughter was 15 at the time, and she was in the room right next to here, and she was on the phone with her best friend. And and she was laughing. The sound, I know something about laughter. I've heard a fair amount of it, and I've deciphered some of it. There's a whole bunch of different types of it. But the sound of laughter of a 15-year-old girl on the phone with her best friend is a sound that's not like any other on planet Earth. It's like a totally different animal altogether. It's like these whooping shrieks and wails, and like I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking, I need to sleep. I need how much is this much sleep? I need this much. I need a morsel, a modicum, a molecule. I need this much sleep. I have to have it. And I'm being denied this cure to my ailment by the shrieks and wails of hysterical laughter dancing out of my daughter's bedroom. So I decided I had to do something about it. So I lay back and I conjure up my available dad identities. Okay, so the first dad identity that comes to mind is the blusterer, right? The guy who thinks might is right? That guy, right? So I conjure him up, and I think if I give him the job of addressing this situation, what will happen? And I know exactly what will happen. He would storm over to my daughter's bedroom, and he would say, I am trying to get some sleep here. You don't care that I have to get up at 5 in the morning. Why should you? You get to sleep till noon. It would never even occur to you. It would never even occur to you. It would never occur to you that other people might be living in this house. And I would raise my dictatorial muscle, and I would say, hang up that phone right now. And then, boys and girls, there would be quiet. Quiet anger, quiet resentment, and quiet plotting of revenge. You see, dad number one always gets much more quiet than he bargained for. That's because he's a victim of, he's a pawn of exhaustion, and you know, and he wins the battle at the expense of the war. He's a victim of exhaustion, and he's you know, destined to spend his life in a vicious cycle of explosive bravado, followed by the need to apologize for it. Right? So I decide maybe he's not the guy for the job, so I conjure up dad number two. Dad number two is still a pawn of exhaustion, you know, but he lacks the will to fight. Instead, he's a pleader, right? And his method would be to look as pitiful as possible and to speak in a defeated monotone, right? And would say, Ariel, that's my daughter's name, say, Ariel, please, if you have this much love in your heart for me, please, I beg of you, go downstairs, use the phone downstairs, right? And although sad and, you know, emasculated to some degree, this dad, if I give him the job, at least if he gets the job done, at least I won't have to apologize for how I got it done later. So I think, okay, dad number two is the guy for the job. I conjure up my defeated monotone. I start rolling around in my mouth, getting ready to use it. And then a hitherto unknown door in my mind opens up, and out walks dad number three. He speaks. Dad number one is a jerk, and dad number two is just sad, he says. He goes, the problem here is not with the sounds in this house, it's with the way that you are choosing to hear them. And then I think to myself, remember, I am like the kind of exhausted where you just want to sit in a puddle and cry, right? Like, you know, he says, I go, look it, is dad number three, is he a philosopher? Is that what we're dealing with here now? I really need to get some sleep here. And he tells me to shut up. He says, let's take a look at what we have here, Don White. That's right. I'm on a first name basis with my fictional dads, right? He says, let's take a look at what we have here, Don White. He said, this is, you are about to take action that will curtail the sounds of laughter in your home. You know, do you understand what you're about to do here? He goes, you know, the sounds that happen in a home are part and parcel of the memories that are created there. He goes, you know, quiet is what you have after that, and be careful how much of this you wish for. And then he says it again. He goes, the problem here is not with the sounds in this house. It's with the way that you are choosing to hear them. And then I get it. Oh man, it was like, you know how in your life sometimes like you get like a big white light washes over you of complete understanding, like not just a little bit of understanding, but like you understand it as if you've known it your whole life, right? That's what happened. All of a sudden, I'm like, I ask myself this question: what kind of a father can't go to sleep to the sound of his daughter laughing? And then as soon as I spoke the words, it was as if speaking them initiated metamorphosis, and all the sounds coming from my daughter's room were transformed. They weren't noise anymore. They weren't annoying. They were music. They were summer rain. I laid back and let them just wash over me. All the pores in my body opened up and just absorbed them, and I drank in the miracle of my daughter's teenage laughter. It was magic. It was giddy. It was a sound so complete that it was as if each one of her molecules were laughing. It was all one glorious symphony, light and lovely. And she sang me to sleep with laughter, and I dreamed. Oh man, I dreamed the dreams of a rested man. And you know, and when I woke up in the morning, I wasn't just reborn, I was renewed. I was a new person. I was completely not who I was when I went to bed. And I laid there for a while, and I thought about the house that I was raised in. And I wondered if I had the inclination or the wherewithal to count them, if my memories of people yelling would outnumber the memories of people laughing, or the memories of people laughing would outnumber my memories of people yelling. And I thought about that for a minute. I thought about time. I thought about the lineage. I thought about breaking chains. I thought about maybe this is the end of this in my bloodline now. Maybe we can just hear this a different way going forward now for every generation. I got up, and I walked past my daughter's bedroom, and I gazed in upon her sleeping figure, beautiful and at peace. And I whistled a line from her favorite pop song. I put on my work boots that were still covered with insulation from the night before. I had a muffin. I went in my work fan, and I started my day. Ta-da!
Awesome, Lois.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
I love this.
Really
That
is.
was
Love it.
beautiful.
I love
Love
that
it.
story.
And how old is Ariel now, Don?
107.
What does that make you?
I'm frozen at 63 now. Ariel is well, we have to do the math. She was born in 1982, so she's zeroing in on 40. I think.
Yeah.
She's
49, 39?
she's the best. She's great. She's got her own kid, and she's good to her kids. You don't yell at them too much, and she yells at me, but not at her kid. What's that about?
That's good.
That's normal.
It's payback.
Payback is right. I was just gonna say that.
All right. Let's see. Let me play this. I think we should have a dance party tonight. What do you think? Anybody up for that?
Oh yeah.
That's not very enthusiastic.
Dance party!
Yeah. Well, Sarah's gonna start it, Don.
Yeah.
Dance party!
All right. So I'll play a quick one, and then we'll have our dance party. All right. All right. All right, so this is a little pep talk for all of you who haven't figured out to have some creative outlet yet. Doesn't matter if it makes money, it's probably not going to make money, but it gives you a better life. And not only does it give you a better life, anything like painting or writing or anything, what it does, this is my argument for art, right? At my age, and from about 50 forward, actually, your world kind of contracts. It's not good or bad, it just is, right? Just becomes a smaller world. Normal, for most people, you've been at the same job a long time, you go camping the same place every year, whatever. It's just a natural sort of contracting of it. Again, no judgment on it, just the way it is. If you have a creative outlet, paint, music, photography, whatever, anything, don't judge it, just do it, right? Then it reverses that. It expands your world. So twice a year you go, if you build birdhouses, right? Twice a year you go to California to the bird house convention, builders convention, and your mind gets expanded by all these things that you see. And so my argument for art is not that there's any money in it. There probably isn't. The argument is that anybody, I would think, would want a world that's expanding while the people around them the same age, their worlds are contracting. So this here little pep talk for you. So drag that violin out of the closet. Next time we'll put you in the show. It's a hard, dark, cold world with everybody in their cars in a million-mile traffic jam trying to get to their jobs. You there with your bright light, hiding in your little room with your guitar and your pencil, writing your secret tune. Go light, go light, go light the world on fire. It's your day, it's your time. Go light the world on fire. In the first part, if you learn what you love to do. In the middle part, if you do it a lot till it becomes a part of you. In the last part, you can give the world the best work of your life. And then you lay down with a big smile, tell this whole world good night. Go light, go light, go light the world on fire. This is your day, it's your time. Go light the world on fire. It's a hard, dark, cold world with everybody in their cars in a million-mile traffic jam trying to get to their jobs. We need you to come on down from your little room. Bring your bright light to the dark night. Play us your secret tune. Go light, go light, go light the world on fire. This is your day, it's your time. Go light the world on fire. Go light the world on fire. Go on and light the world on fire.
Hey, Don. Awesome.
All right. My section of another Thursday night is in the bucket. Hey. Good job. Thanks to everybody who could contribute during the break there. I really appreciate that. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna have our dance party. So Eric, you're all set with that, right? The sound when I ask you to do it, you got that set? Yes? Eric? Eric, sober up, buddy.
Dance party!
Sorry, I just had my mic off.
Let's have a big thank you for Eric behind the scenes doing all the magic that keeps this thing.
Yeah.
Eric!
Becky's.
So Eric, you have the music set up so when we go right into it. Yes?
What was that?
So you have the music set up for the dance party when we're gonna do it?
Yep.
Okay, so here. Now I'm gonna get you all in the gallery view. I recommend everybody go on gallery view, and those of you in other platforms, you won't have as much fun as us over here, but that's okay. And so, Eric, we're gonna want to stream the gallery view of this too, if you can figure that out too.
Okay.
All right, so. Our dance party is going to be to a song that I wrote. You'll hear the voice of John Svetke here. John Svetke did the music. He sang the thing for me. He did it on GarageBand. And this is my song called Boom Chaka Wang Wang. It's my new. I'm not writing wordy songs anymore. I'm just writing booty jumping songs, booty bumping songs. That's all I'm doing now from now on. Just all that. And so this is it. So in order to get in the mood for this, we have to teach you all how to use all your stuff on Zoom. Now, if you look around, you see people putting their hats on, and I see Thelia has got like a mouse or something on her. Well, I don't know what she's got on her face, but somebody needs to wash that off. She's got antennas there. And so the way you do that is you go where it says stop video. You click on your camera there. If you're on a desktop or a laptop, go in there, and let's see. Choose video filters. Go in there, and you'll see a bunch of icons on the bottom there, and you can use those to put on. Let's see what we can do here for Dawn. Here we can do this one here. That's not bad. That's all right. And then there's a halo someplace. I'm gonna find my halo. Where is my halo? I've been asking that question all my adult life. Where is my halo?
Don, it's under the little #1 medal. It doesn't show the picture, it just has a little face.
I'm right here. Right underneath there. Right underneath. Oh, I see. I got it. All right, there you go. Now,
There you go.
there you go. Now, so here, so what I want you, if you can figure out how to get your view upside down, that's good. So you can be dancing on the ceiling. Maybe some people will figure that out. But everyone should at least put a halo or a hat on or something, because we're going to have a dance party. So before we
If
do
you go
that,
under studio effects, you can get eyebrows and red lips like mine.
yeah, eyebrows and lips. All right, so we're gonna start the tune up here now. If you can stand on your head, that's great. You can rotate. If you're on a PC, you can rotate it so that you're upside down. And then you can put your hand like this so you're dangling from the ceiling. There, Dave Summer said, Dave, move your hands like this when you're upside down. No, upside down, buddy. So it looks like you're hanging from the ceiling. That's good. That's a good trick. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to play Boom Chaka Wang Wang, because I'm sick of hanging around with too many poets in my life. I'm all done with wordy songs and meaningful songs. Just booty shaking songs from now on from Dawn. Here we go. So I'm going to stand up and move my camera, and then Eric, make sure that the volume is nice and loud here. We'll keep our halos going, everything, all right? So let's do it.
I love you, big mama, let me say that thing. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. When I see you chugga wang, it makes me wanna sing. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. My mom wants me to read and try to use my brain, but I just wanna see my baby boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Boom boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. The DJ at the wedding is so damn lame. To get this party jumping, play boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Break it down. Boom. Ow. Boom. Ow. Chugga wang wang. Ow. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang.
Oh, done.
I love Tommy and Marlene's grandkids dancing.
Yeah, that,
Okay.
You won't have to go to a wedding for years.
Before we go, Marlene, can you figure out how to put the halo on? And then you can have your grandchildren fighting over it. Here, let's do it with the Richardsons. Amy, can you figure out how to put the halo on? And so here, watch this. Everybody, because like we're putting gallery view. And so Thelia, you can steal that off the top of her head. Right, right. Get over close to it. Look at that.
Ooh, almost.
yeah.
Thanksy Betsy.
My grandchildren taught me this.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Hey, nice going. Straight this back and forth.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong as a parent, but she doesn't want the halo.
You know, that's going to be the name of my new album, Angel Steals Halos. That's the name of it right there. All right.
Hey.
Another 1 minute break, 2 minute break. If you can donate, that would be great. And we'll be back with our after party. And thanks, everybody. Let's have a big thank you for everybody, for showing up here.
All right.
Good job, everybody.
Great job.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right, boys and girls, totally recovered now from the dance party. Welcome everybody back. We're gonna this is what we do now at the end. We have like a little song swap, story swap. This is one, you know, what we lost with COVID was the ability to hang around with other artists, and to let the audience stay and chat with us. So that's what we're doing. We're going to start off with my friend Susan, who lives over here in Medford, and she's been teaching at Berkeley for 20 years songwriting, and she's got a gig coming up we're going to talk about in a minute, but I want you to unmute yourselves and give a nice round of applause to Susan Catania.
Hey, Susan! Whoa!
Hey.
Yes, Susan. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Great to see you.
Nice to see you too. So do I just start? Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you get us started, and then we'll chat the next time around. How's that?
All right, cool. So it's so interesting because I love that story about your daughter. And I have been thinking a lot about like what we inherit and what we pass on. And I have a daughter and I have a mother and I'm kind of sandwiched between the two of them. And I wrote this song that just came out for Mother's Day. So I wanted to play it for you here. Mothers and daughters, cut from the same cloth. We promise our hearts till death do we part in front of the same God. We say I love you, then we say I do. Then we spend years saying I'm sorry more than we have to. That's something borrowed, something blue. We've been handed down this sorrow, but we wear it as if it were true. It's something borrowed, something blue. Something blue. Daughters and mothers carry the same scars. We promise our heart. Wait, sorry. Mothers, daughters, and mothers. We carry the same scars. Oh, shoot. I can't believe I can't remember the words to my own song. Hold on. Daughters and mothers. I'll just finish it. Carry the same scars. We question our worth, what we deserve. We inhabit the same dark. We say, I love you. Then what do? We put ourselves down, put ourselves last. Look at our lives, a half-empty glass. That's something borrowed, something blue. We've been handed down this sorrow, but we wear it as if it were true. It's something borrowed, something blue. Something blue. Can we undo what has been done? Is it set in stone who we become? She is my daughter. We have the same eyes. She's quick with a word, quick to feel hurt. Her shadows are all mine. And how I love her, as mothers do. And I'll be damned if I'll make her carry more than she has to. Of something borrowed, something blue. I've been handed down this sorrow, but I swear I won't make it true. It's something borrowed, something blue. Something blue. Something blue.
Wow.
Oh, that was so beautiful, Susan.
That was very good.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
It really was.
It's so funny because I just came from like a whole conversation about this song with my daughter. And it's funny because the song kind of carried me away with it. I was like thinking about my daughter. I was just gotta like put her out of my mind completely when I'm singing. It's like daughters and mothers. What did she say at dinner?
Susan Catania, everybody. She'll be back in a minute.
All right, Susan.
Unbelievable, Susan.
All right, before we get to our next guest, I want to acknowledge my friend Samantha Flynn. There she is right there. I haven't seen you in so long. Unmute yourself just for a second, Sam.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you guys?
Good, good. It's good to see your face. And so we're kind of in the after show open mic part, but I'm glad to see you. And we'll get together, you and I, now that COVID's winding down. We're due for lunch somewhere, right, Sam?
Definitely. Absolutely. And next time I will show up a little earlier. I wasn't really sure what time to hop in, and I came home from work a little late. So
That's okay. Yeah,
I'll plan it out next time. But I
right.
loved your set, Susan. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, so thank you, Sam, and so good to see you. Now this one, the technology, people complain about it, but man, being able to look at you and hear your voice means something to me. I gotta tell you, it's been a long time since I seen you. Sam was, part of Speak Up when it just started. She was just a kid then, probably, I don't know, 16 or so, and found her voice there, and just become a great friend to me and to the community. So good to see you, Samantha. All right, let's. Now I'm bringing in my friends from Michigan. Michigan is represented here now. So this is Rod and Annie Caps. Let's make them feel welcome, everybody. Nice round of applause for them, if possible. There we go.
Hey, great to see you guys.
Hi.
Howdy all, how you do?
I love that the only person I can see right now is Don, so I'm going to leave it that way. I hope the rest of you are looking at Don while we're playing our song. We like it better if we can't see our song.
Yeah.
We just got, and I'm sorry, I should probably dive into Susan. Oh, yes. Susan, that was just stunning, and it's good to see you and hear you. It's weird. I've had such a hard time writing songs about my mom. I mean, she's still with us, and I just started writing one the other day because I just drove away from her, and that one's not ready for prime time yet, but I've got a lot of songs about my dad, it turns out. So that just made me think of this one. That my dad's been gone for about 19 years now, and he was a complicated fellow. I learned a lot of my sarcasm from him. I learned that if you like somebody, you hit them and say nasty things to them. And I learned he who dies with the most toys wins. And what else did I learn? Keep talking and you'll think of something to say. Oh, wait, I learned that from Don. No, that's not true. Anyways, okay. Anyway, this is a song from my father. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, I wasn't gonna, is that okay?
Yep, good. Her head on your shoulder, so out of character, so not the way you were, but here in this picture bad ones they fade, and the good ones come back. Your letters gave more than you ever could face to face. So I dust them off now, 'cause they've taken your place. Airplanes, state fairs, and motorhomes, dancing to the Rolling Stones. It lasts a little bit longer each time my heart remembers. It grows a bit fonder. Memories are strange like that. The bad ones they fade, and the good ones come back. The good ones come back. The good ones come back.
Nice.
Beautiful, Annie and Rod. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That was awesome.
Thank you all.
So you guys were just at a gig, right? Did you have to drive all the way to
From our kitchen.
Yeah, I was snurfing pizza in the car. I mean, it was.
Actually, I'm a
It's
little
the-
froggy because I
yeah.
just ran into the kitchen in between our last gig and came back out here. And yeah.
Well, you'll hang around and we'll chat the next time through.
Indeed.
Sounds
Up with you
Good to see
guys.
you.
One more time for Rod and Annie Caps, everybody.
Yay, Rod and Annie.
All right, so I want to bring back my poet, our guest spoken word person, Mr. Dave Somerset today. Putting Dave in this room with these people that I care so much about is very special to me. I'm really glad to see you. So, Dave, will you do another piece for us, please?
Sure. I'm just going to very short one, Don. I'm really enjoying everybody. We love Susan, and I don't know the other folks, but I love them now too. But we've caught you many times, Susan. Good to hear you again. This is a short piece I wrote a couple years ago for National Autism Awareness Month. It's called Jacob. Jacob, digging out your soul from hearts on hold in a run-on family, a stolen heart. Dream computers map a universe with poems that are themselves poets. Artists imagine the unknown, sense the unknowable. Their vision over horizons reveals the hidden within the mist. Jacob, your origin is not our past. Your vision is not our future. You are many times what you think, and many more times what the world knows. They are but half your sky, and few can see you. Though brain soldiers guard your gates, your view from those walls is infinite. Thank you.
Oh, Dave.
Thanks, David. Beautiful.
That was for Jacob.
Wow.
Nicely done, Dave. I appreciate you so much. All right, so this is what's going to happen. I'm going to squeeze a tune in here because I want to play this for Sam and for Chandler. Then we'll go around one more time. We'll get Chris Chandler to do the third spot. And next time through, then we'll go sort of a lightning round after that and see what happens. So let me play this for you, Sam, and for... So, Pete Seeger's birthday was not that long ago. A couple of years ago, I was asked to play at his birthday party because he was passed on already, but it was in Beacon, New York, where he lived. So I got to play for his family and his friends. And everybody talked about Pete Seeger, the guy who cleaned up the Hudson. Pete Seeger, the children's performer, you know. But I always thought that the most interesting Pete Seeger was the one that fought for working people. You know, that's what got him pulled in front of McCarthy. It was when he started threatening businesses, you know, because he was a union organizer. So I played this song there, and Tom Chapin was there, and he asked me for it and gave it to his daughters, the Chapin sisters, and they've been playing it. They may actually record it. So this is called One Little Drop. Normally I wait to the end to play, but I wanted just to squeeze this one in here for Sam and for I think Cara too. And everybody's out there working on behalf of people who are trying to organize and make a living. All the work gets done in the valley. All the money rains down on the mountain top. When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, it's only one little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Oh, they work so hard to divide us with a steady stream of lies. 'Cause if we ever stop fighting with each other, we might start asking each other why. If all the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top? When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, why is it just a little drop? One little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Keep buying those politicians and those TV newsmen too. Make them say every day that my problem is my neighbor, when I know that my problem is you. Just keep lying about corporate tax breaks, how the jobs are gonna trickle down. But beware of the day when the people say that they are sick of being trickled on. One little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Enjoy your view of the valley from that house on top of the hill. Right now the giant is sleeping, that doesn't mean that it always will. 'Cause when the sleeping giant starts moving, it is impossible to stop. You know, every flood that ever washed a city away started with a little drop. One little drop will start an ocean, one little drop will start the rain, one little drop will start the flood that's coming to wash the gilded city away. If all of the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top? When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, why is it just a little drop?
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Yeah. Nice.
I love that song, Dawn.
Yeah, man. We gotta learn that one.
I've actually been dying to get the title of that song. Like I've had the melody of it in my head, but I remember you played that at Tony Toledo's house when he did the pie night thing. And I showed up with my boyfriend. It was like one of our first dates, and I've been trying to remember the title of that forever. And I'm so glad you played it.
So One Little Drop, if you want to find it, it's on a CD called Live at the Guthrie Center. All right, so let's start our second round here. Let's start with Susan. So Susan, let's chat a little bit. Let's talk about your show that's coming up on Saturday. Saturday at the Rose Garden, right? Brian Quinn and a fantastic venue down there, and it's going to be live streamed, but you're going to be in the building, right? You're going to be standing in that beautiful church there and streaming out to the world. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like the first time I'm leaving my house, and I'm going to be standing up and perhaps wearing pants with a zipper. I don't know. I might go crazy, but but yeah, so I'm excited because we are live streaming, but we're live streaming from a location, which is great. And yeah, so it's Saturday, which is my wedding anniversary, which is cool. So lots of good things happening that day. And
so that information is in the chat for everybody. It's the Rose Garden Coffee House, and it'll be streaming on your Facebook page as well, or just from theirs, right?
I think just from theirs. You have to. Yeah, I think you have to get tickets. Okay, but the show starts at 7.
Rose Garden Coffee House in Mansfield, Mass. Everybody check that out. So why don't you play a tune for us and give us a little teaser about what we can expect to see on Saturday.
Well, so I have a new album coming out that I've been writing during the pandemic, and it's called All Is Quiet, which initially was supposed to be about the fact that both of my kids had gone away to college, so everything was quiet, but then they moved back in with us, so things were not so quiet after that. But it more became, for me, about the fact that I felt very creatively muted, and for a while I didn't write at all. And, what do you do when you're not writing? I look through old photographs, and I had to put together a video presentation for my mom's 93rd birthday. And so I was going through a lot of photographs, and it's so funny, Annie, because I'm going to kind of reference your song. So I found this photograph of me. Look at me in my fancy Easter outfit. And a lot of other kind of memorable photographs, and I wrote this song. So here we go. Look, there's Dad standing next to Mama, holding baby like a Christmas gift. Way back when, before all the drama, back of the picture says 66, the good old days of 1966. Look there, sister, it's her birthday. She's blowing those 5 candles out. And here's brother shooting his cap gun. They were young once, now they're all tired out. We were young once, now we're all tired out. But we're all better in black and white, smiling for the camera, living in our best light. In the still of the moment, it was a simple world, a simple life. We're all better in black and white. Here's the family with our first dog, that summer day under the maple tree. Look, here's Grandma dancing with Grandpa, 50 years gone, now she looks like me. All these pictures, all these people, all our past. Boxes full of monochrome memories, sometimes wish we could all go back. Oh, I wish we could all go back. 'Cause we're all better in black and white, smiling for the camera, living in our best light. In the still of the moment, it was a simple world, a simple life. We're all better in black and white. Oh, how the light plays tricks on memory lane. That's alright, 'cause only the good stuff remains.
was a simple world, a simple life. We're all better in black and white. Yes, we're all better in black and white. We're all better in black and white.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Jonathan. Beautiful. Woo! All right.
All right, Susan, thank you so much. So we'll go around one more time, but everybody make sure to check her out on Saturday at the coffee house there. What? Spacing on the name now. Brian Quinn would hate me for that. The
Rose Garden. Rose Garden.
All right. All right. One more time for Susan, everybody.
Woo! All right, Susan.
Wonderful to hear you, Susan.
All right. So Rod and Annie, let's chat a little bit. What's new with you guys? So Annie is the hardest working person in show business as far as any folks.
Yeah.
I don't know, president or like chief bottle washer at Farm, the Folk Alliance Regional in the Midwest, and she's got all kinds of stuff going on. So, want to pick something that you want to talk about out of the many things that you're doing? What do you want us to know about?
I also let's see. What do I want you to know about? I think I will say it's time. It's okay for me to say this. I'm working on a solo project.
Yeah.
I have this really. I mean,
Wait,
people
what?
look at me and they're like, "Why would you do that when you have this?" Well, I have. I have 8 albums. Hey, don't be funny.
To him.
Matt Watroba, our pal Matt Watroba, he said, "Do you want me to start the rumors?"
Yeah.
Because sadly, we have friends that are breaking up. No, we're doing awesome, but I've just been writing a lot of songs that sort of feel like they're in a different place, and so I'm excited to explore that. It's gonna be all women, and right from the engineer to the mastering agent or person to the whoever does the graphic design. If it isn't me, yeah, I'm excited about it. Really, I've been writing a lot.
When can we expect to see that project?
Oh, what year is it?
Don't know. Can't help you.
I mean, aren't we all always working on a new record? No, I was really hoping for the fall. I think that's a little ambitious. So I'm going to probably suggest somewhere early 2022.
Well,
my
sounds exciting.
plan.
I can't wait to hear it. So will you guys play something for us now?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, Susan. Gosh, Susan, you and I need to hang out because first of all, it's just, I feel like if there was a radio DJ listening to the show, but that would be a good pairing of songs. It's so funny. And now this one, I swear to God, not even listening. I was thinking about playing this song because I missed it. So we're digging back into our archives for this. You know how you put out a record and you're always playing your latest and greatest. And Rod and I neglect a lot of our songs. And so this one was one that meant a lot to me. And again, my dad's in it, but I have photographs everywhere in boxes in the basement and old journals and diaries and stuff. And quite the opposite. I have this absolute petrified nightmare that I'm going to die suddenly and people are going to find those. And so my deepest wish is that Rod will burn them as long as we don't go together, in which case I've got backup. But yeah, anyway. This is called When My Time Comes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I am going to take these off. 2, 3, 4. I don't want this day to end, but I really am quite beat. That tiny life in the swamp is singing me to sleep. Wouldn't it be grand if I could take them all with me? When my time comes and I have to leave. My favorite sweater I got second hand, and I guess you could say the same about my man. I wonder if he'll finish all the things we began. When my time comes
is true. Never saw it coming. He was just one day gone. No point in asking where. He just had to travel on. I imagine myself running into my dad's open arms when my time comes and I have to leave. Don't know exactly when, but somewhere I lost that girl who had all of these plans and hoped to travel all around the world. Will I be content to hang out here with the frogs and squirrels when my time comes and I have to leave? I know I will have to leave some of those stones unturned, places that I never saw, songs I never heard, and I'll find out if anything about God I learned is true. But I don't want this day to end. I really am quite beat, and that tiny life in the swamp is singing me to sleep. Wouldn't it be grand if I could take them all with me when my time comes and I have to leave? When my time comes.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful. Woo! Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
So why would I ever dump it? I'm not going to dump him, I swear to God.
What? Wait a minute, what?
He's
Don,
still
thank you.
recovered. He's still recovered from finding out that you're starting a solo project.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what the heck am I going to do?
He's
All
going to
right.
make his own solo project.
Very good to see you, Don.
Thanks.
Good to see you
Thanks so
too,
much.
Ron. Next time through, I'm going to talk to you. All right, one more time for Ron and Annie Cows, everybody.
Oh, wonderful job.
Nice.
One of the things that's great about this after party thing for me is that people will pop in, and when I have sort of structured it in a way where I can kind of pull them in for a song or a story or whatever. So we have Chris Chandler in the house tonight, and I want to thank you. There he is right there. So Chris, thanks for being here. Do you want to, first of all, why don't you let us know when your poem of the week and your other thing is so that people can know how to find you?
I'm really pretty easy to find. All my information is at Chris Chandler. If you remember my name, I was not the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. ChrisChandler.org. I am an organizer, not a communist. ChrisChandler.org will give you that information. I do a poem a week. It started off when the pandemic started. I started doing a poem a day, and I did it for over 100 days. I did a poem every day at the same time, and it just started getting too much, and I went to a poem a week. And about that time, one of my home festivals, the Oregon Country Fair, is my favorite moment of my favorite event. Came up with a library show, and they said, "Would you do a library show?" And I did it, and it was a success. And I decided to start doing a set every month. And over the pandemic, I've just started building up a puppet theater because I'm used to playing the streets, and that's where I met you when I was playing the streets. And a puppet theater feels like as street as it gets.
All right, Chris, I know you do this all the time. Right now, your sound is kind of muddy. Is there an adjustment you can make? Your vocal?
I was afraid of that. My external microphone went out on me, and let me see what I can do.
All right. I'll just wait here. Chris Chandler, pretty cool.
How muddy is it?
It's, it works. It just, if you can make an adjustment, that would be great. But
I won't be able to hear you.
All right, that would be a blessing for you, probably.
1 second.
All right. I like it so far.
Give me a thumbs up if that's working better.
Much better.
Excellent. I was so afraid of that. I won't go into it. But with that said, since I can't see you and I can't talk to you, I'll yank the microphone plug out in a second. I'm just going to do my poem. Thank you so much for having me, Don, and inviting me into your audience. It really means a lot. I've admired what you've done for 30 years, and it's a real thrill to actually be on a stage, if you can call it a stage, with you. But if we can call it a stage, let's give it a stage curtain. That said, I looked beyond the curvature of the earth, past the myriad of planets and stars, expanding and contracting, just beyond the dust on my windshield. And I called out to God himself. I said, God, I matter. And God responded, why, yes. Yes, you are. At that point, I realized that I really am one with God. Only once you become one with God, do you then pray to yourself? God, I hope not. Because I don't know about you, but I'm the kind of rebel. On those rare moments when I find myself in charge of something, I feel the need to question my own authority. I find myself looking in the mirror saying, don't let me tell me what to do. And that's what it occurred to me, that that's what the Bible meant. That we were all created in God's image, that he was just looking in the mirror and therefore did it all backwards. I mean, he made each and every one of us different, except for Don White. He made each and every one of us different. It's all one big merry-go-round. Our lives, the seasons, they go round. We wave to our parents. They wave back. And then they are gone. We see people on their high horse reaching for a brass ring that is just out of reach. And as it gets closer, the horse goes down. And we are right back where we started. Sometimes we dream. Sometimes we dream big, which is why I woke up this morning saying, I must keep the dream alive. But in the dream, there was traffic, lots of traffic. And on the other side of the road, there was this chicken taunting me, saying, who are you to question my motives? And I found myself taunting back at the chicken, saying, just because I changed my mind doesn't mean I'm not still right. And then the chicken taunted back, saying, to answer your question, it was the rooster that came first. And the reason that I did not cross the road is because I wanted to go down it. Going down the road, feeling bad with a rubber chicken hanging from my windshield. Because I don't know about you, but I would rather hang with people who are looking for answers rather than people who have found them. And whether or not I have found any answers, I do not remember. Because Don, I think you can attest to this. I've been doing this shit for nearly 35 years. And at this point, having a bad memory is the only thing that gives me a clear conscience. And whether my conscience bothers me or not, I don't know, because I can't remember. And I mean, my conscience is just another voice in my head. And just because I know the voices in my head aren't real doesn't mean I shouldn't listen to them. I mean, I listen to the news and I'm pretty sure that's not real. Sure, God created the stars, but let me ask you, who created the constellations? Who amongst us sat in the prehistoric version of a Don White Zoom concert and told stories beneath the sky, and someone saw a picture and they painted it in the sky, and someone else saw that picture and they painted it in a cave, and someone saw that picture and told another story, and every story tells 1,000 pictures, and every picture tells 1,000 stories. You do the math. Count the stars. And when you count the stars, the universe becomes completely abstract. And God becomes this giant Jackson Pollock. And he's up there randomly spilling paint, randomly throwing paint, drawing tight lines that point to an arrow that points to a truth. And that truth can be boiled down to a simple haiku. And that haiku is, that haiku is, haiku are obscure, often hard to understand. Refrigerator. But there is a truth. There is a truth. And that is that the mirror is higher, more heavy than the thing that's holding it up. There is a truth. Whoa. There is a truth. And that truth is the power of good is greater than the power of evil. Can I get an amen? Even though I can't hear you, can I get an amen? The power, I'm not gonna say it again. The power of good is greater than the power of evil.
Amen.
Just
Amen.
not by very much.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
The future, my friends, can be predicted. And the future is what is ahead of us depends solely upon what is inside us.
There you go, Christian. Let's hear it for him.
Oh, yeah.
He's mad.
Oh my God. That was beautiful.
You just never know what's going to happen. You have to show up on
Thank you.
You have to show up on Thursday. All right, so here, let's do a lightning round and we're going to wrap this thing up probably 20 minutes at 10 East Coast time. So lightning round, so that doesn't mean anything except that I'm not going to yak in between what you're doing. So on your mark, get set, go, Susan Catania, go.
Sign up for tickets for Rose Garden. Here's a song, brand new song. Oh. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Hold on. Just tuning because I care. None of us start out looking like a jewel. We're all rough around the edges, unfinished, little jagged too. We're not ready for the rings, not cut out for crowns, a buried treasure waiting to be found. But it takes patience and pressure and feeling lost in the dark, in the hard work, in the hard times we find out who we are. Something beautiful is taking shape. We can't hurry through these making a diamond days. In the moment, the slow passing, the long and lonely nights, we don't notice all the changes the hammer, the chisel, the struggle bring to life. But somewhere underneath the weight of earth and time, the stone that is our heart begins to shine. But it takes patience and pressure and feeling lost in the dark, in the hard work, in the hard times we find out who we are. Something beautiful is taking shape. We can't hurry through these making a diamond days. We're all meant to catch the light. We're all meant to catch the light. We're all meant to catch the light. Catch the light. But it takes patience and pressure and feeling lost in the dark, in the hard work, in the hard times we find out who we are. Something beautiful is taking shape. We can't hurry through these making a diamond days. Making a diamond days. We're making a diamond.
How beautiful.
Ah, beautiful image.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Wow,
Susan.
gorgeous, Susan.
Thank you. Sorry about the tuning, but just went for it.
So don't forget now, Saturday, what time does it start, Susan?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. the Rose Garden Coffee House in Mansfield, Massachusetts. Check in, support local artists. We all lost our way to make a living, and this is how we're doing it. We're doing it through this stupid screen here, right? So one more time for Susan, please.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you.
All
Be
right.
in touch.
Okay, so Rod and Annie, on your mark, get set, go, folk singers, go.
I'm just making sure. Yeah, original sound is on. Okay. Ready?
catch a song in midair when you don't believe that it's out there. So let bygones be bygones, make way for another dawn to clean the slate and take me to the fair. We can go hang out with all the circus freaks, maybe eat some cotton candy on the tilt-a-whirl till it gets stuck in our hair. And when the moment disappears and you can't believe your ears, hey mister, have you got some time to spare? 'Cause I fell in love with time gone, how hard it can be to go on. 10 a.m. caffeine kicks in,
The shiny new day lies out there. Oh, where,
has time gone? How could we have been so wrong? Just clean the slate and take me to the fair. We can go sweet talk that scruffy man who runs the Ferris wheel. And maybe he won't let us go around all night or roll away from here. And when the wayward soul replies and this old photograph belies, oh darling please, the evidence is clear. And holding on to time gone is kind of like trying to catch a song in midair when you don't believe that it's out there. So let go of time gone. What's your name? It's been so long. Just clean the slate and take me to the fair.
me to the bed.
Yeah, clean the slate and take me to the fair. Oh, clean the slate and take me, yeah, to the fair.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. Nice.
That guy.
That guy.
Great foot moving music, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, you guys. You just
Thank you.
really bringing up the property value here. Let's hear it one more time from Ron and Annie Cash.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just say, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a long run here, and I expect I'm just gonna keep doing this till it's just me and Sarah here, or just me and Kara, Sarah, and Tommy and Mark, till it's too small to sustain itself. But it has really helped me hold it together through this. I was determined at the beginning of this that I wouldn't let COVID take my joy. That was my goal. Like if a burglar comes in your house and steals your TV, there's nothing you can do about it. But if you hand them your joy on the way out, they didn't take that, you gave it to them, right? So I've been pretty good about defending my joy. I have about a day a month where I just need to be in bed for 24 hours, but I'll come back strong after that. So I'm going to sing this song for you to just have you think about anybody that you know that's having a bad time, anybody you know that's struggling. A little bit goes a long way. Give them a call. Maybe you'll be the only person they talk to this month or something. This is the hardest part of what we've been through, I think, when you can see the end, but you can't quite get there, right? You start to realize what you've been through, what you've gone without. I hugged my grandchildren for the first time on Mother's Day, and I feel like crying just talking about it. It's been a long, I wasn't crying before I did it, I was just living with not hugging them. But now that I did it, it made me realize how long it's been and all that. So the song is called The Painter, and send it out to everybody that needs to be reminded that to take care of themselves. And thank you all for being so sweet. Before I sing this song, let's have a nice thank you for all our performers. Somerset.
All right.
Thank you, Dawn.
And Dawn, we want to thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Don.
Dawn, you
Thank
made
you.
our Thursdays. Thank you, Dawn.
Everyone. Rod and Annie and Rod and Chris Chandler.
Yes. Lovely to meet you all.
All right, well, I'll do this song, and then we can just disappear quietly or chat a little bit, whatever you want. But this is officially the end. We did pretty good, 9:30. That's East Coast time. That's good for old people to be done. This is the time when people stand there, put their makeup on, and get ready to go out. But for the rest of us, it's time to go to bed. It's that time. In this portrait of sadness. In the big gallery, we see a man in the foreground in such misery, but the horizon behind him is vibrant and bright. We see him staring into darkness, but covered in light. If I were the painter, I would paint you with wings, and I would dress you in the colors that come in the spring. And when my heart was in darkness and you were alone, I'd paint sunshine around you and wings to carry you home. In this portrait of anger and low self-esteem, we see a woman in danger of a life without dreams. And as I stare at her shoulders, Lord, all I can see is this mountain of a burden where wings ought to be. If I were the painter, I would paint you with wings, and I would dress you in the colors that come in the spring. And when your heart was in darkness and you were alone, I'd paint sunshine around you and wings to carry you home. This face in my mirror, this portrait of me, is constantly changing for the whole world to see. But the hand on the brushes that color this face is the hand that belongs to the person it paints. If I am the painter, I will paint me with wings, and I will dress me in the colors that come in the spring. And when my heart is in darkness and I am alone, I will paint sunshine around me, and wings to carry me home. I will paint sunshine around me, and wings to carry me home. There you go.
Love you, Dawn.
Oh,
Wonderful.
That was so good. Gosh. Wow.
Don, I
Beautiful.
have to say that I saw you, I witnessed you sing I Know Exactly What Love Is at an open mic. And it was like you introduced it as your first time singing it. And you stood shaking on the stage at TT the Bears singing this song, and it blew me away and it stuck with me. And this is pre-social media, so I had zero reference to the song. But in 2010, when my mother died, I called it up and it became my go-to song when my mother died, and that has stayed with me. And nothing that you have done since then has blown me away like what you just did there. That was a song I'd never heard, and that was fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Amen, Chris. Amen.
Well, all of us who create things, I think I can speak for us. What we hope when we create something is that it finds a place, a useful place in the world. And that's sort of the hope every time you put a pen to paper or you sing something or whatever. And when you can, that's why it's worth doing, because maybe 1 out of 20, 1 out of 50, 1 out of 100 finds a place in somebody's life or in their heart, and it eases their pain a little bit or gives them a laugh or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice if money came with it, but that's pretty good too. Right? If that's all you get from it, that's better than most people get. Most people are singing in a hairbrush most of their life, and remembering the time in the 8th grade when they were on stage in the play or whatever. So if you get to do it and people respond to it, it's a noble endeavor, and it's nice when it works out. So I want to thank all the artists tonight, and I really appreciate you all. I don't want to take up a lot of this space here. So Hannah and you guys that are here for the first time, I say this every week, but what we learned early on is if I hit the button here because I started this meeting, then what happens is this illusion of us all being together is dramatically and traumatically ended with a great big white screen, right?
Yeah.
And so it's been so nice, and to live in this illusion of me and my holograms. Look, I'm putting my hand through you all right now. But so we just sort of say goodbye one at a time, or chat or whatever you want, and just you sort of gently go back into your world. So that's all I got to say here, kids. Say whatever you want. The floor is open.
Say good night to our Facebook and YouTube friends if you want.
Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye, Facebook. Stop. Why were you watching cat videos while I was playing? What is wrong?
Sorry, man.